Fresh. Welcome to episode 4 of Fresh and Smoove Boxing TV, the best boxing show in Las Vegas.
That's right.
Give you guys fight analysis, recaps, and men's mental health tips to keep you guys on point, man.
That's right.
Be sure to follow us on all platforms, IG, YouTube, and Spotify.
We did. We did.
All right, let's get into this.
What's going on, man?
Talk.
What's going on, man? What's going on, man? Real talk.
You tell me.
Real talk, man. It's been a crazy week. Super excited. We got a lot to cover, guys. But real talk though. I wanted to say that where we come from, especially, sometimes people that you grow up with, even yourself. Sometimes you get stuck in thinking that because you were dealt certain cards or certain things were put in a certain situation that it's too late for you, right? And I'm here to just say, man, it's really never too late. That's really what I want to tell people because, just because your auntie or your mom messed up your credit, it don't mean you can't fix your credit. It don't mean you can't start that business. It doesn't mean that you can't go for those goals and those dreams you always had. So
you can literally do whatever you put your mind to.
And even this podcast, this is something we do for fun and we do because we love boxing. But, we also have our goals outside of this. And nowadays, I don't really doubt myself no more. I don't. I think about something I want. And I think, okay, what it takes to get there? How much money does it take to get there? Okay, what I got to do to make that money, to actually make that? You just start putting things down into action and then you get it. I don't have no doubts on something that I can't do. So that's very important. And we get lost, so understand that there's something inside of everybody that screams at you that you want more, you deserve more, you should have more.
Absolutely.
And we all have that same, we all have a purpose. So with that, sometimes we forget about that, also understanding that if you ever just sit down for about 2 hours and don't do nothing and just think about, avoid all distractions and just think about the things that you can create, and you'll see how creative you can be in just an hour or 2 hours. It's because you're meant to be that, I know that for sure that I was made in the likeness and image of God, like they say. And what that means is that the first thing he tells you about himself is how he's creative as heck, right? Because he created all of this. So if you're made in that same image, that means you could be just as creative. And you're meant to be creative. So be creative, guys. Know that it's never too late. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. It's never too late to go after those things you want. But, first start with you, So that's what I got today.
I just want to touch on today. My real talk is about, being selfish. Sometimes you got to be selfish about you and your time to reach new heights in life, man. And
that's for sure.
I used to hang out and procrastinate, hang out with friends and do all that, and that's just not me anymore, man. I'm just trying to grow and improve. I'm no saint, I had to live and learn from my bumping on my head, falling on my head, getting right. But I'm here now, and I wasted a lot of time hanging out and not getting things done the right way. And I'm just not into that anymore. I'm in the business of self-improvement and getting ahead. So I'm trying to have more people level-minded like me that want to get to where they want to be in life. You know what I mean?
Be very selfish.
We only get a certain amount of time on this God's green earth, and I'm trying to make the most of mine.
You're going to get to play it twice. The game of life.
the game of life. You don't get to play it twice. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you're not trying to be on that time, I don't need you around me, period. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably have an image of myself in their head how I used to be wilding out, and I'm just not on that kind of time no more. So if that's how you see me, you just don't know me no more.
If they knew you,
yeah, you just don't know me, man. So we on a new time here, and we ready to get this thing rolling, man.
Yeah, man. Episode new levels. Let's get it. Let's get it. Last night we gonna start with last night. Sebastian Fundora.
He looked good.
Showtime, headlining Showtime. I think second time headlining Showtime. So we want to talk a little bit about the fight. If you want to start with how the fight went for you as far as the early rounds.
Okay, well, in the beginning, I think Fundora looked good, but he just showed weaknesses of his boxing from the outside. He was getting caught with shots, and then he decided to, give up boxing and brawl, get in the phone booth. This guy's crazy. He just got no chill. He said he loves to fight, so. They were banging and brawling. I rated his performance maybe like a 6.5.
Yeah,
just because he just wasn't on point, man. He's supposed to walk through him, and you know what I mean. If I was Charlo, I'd be looking at him kind of like maybe I might have a chance to crack that.
Right. Only thing about him is his stamina.
Dude,
you know, he breaks people down. Like he doesn't stop punching. He doesn't quit. And same thing with you. You know, early rounds he was kind of struggling. He was getting outboxed really. Yeah. Then towards the end he went back to the boxing and shooting the jab and the left hand and the right straight and that started working for him at the end of the fight when Homeboy was already tired. Ocampo was already tired.
Yeah.
You know,
he was getting beat up, but I don't mean to jump off topic, but Ocampo should get another crack at something around there because he didn't look bad. He fought a good fight. You know what I mean? This guy Fundora.
His face is. I mean, his face.
I mean, he was beat up, but Fundora loses and kills people. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
He stuck it out, so he deserves another shot. I mean, another lower level opponent, but.
Yeah, as far as Fundora, man, they're not gonna be able to duck him.
Yeah, he's 20-0 with one draw. I mean, you got to go see him, Charlo. You got to see him. We want to see these fights, man. What's going on out here?
That's for sure. So he's going to be, I guess, we'll see. He's not mandatory yet, but he's ranked number 1 now for the WBC for Charlo to have the fight next. Okay. And will that happen? Who knows? But that's the fight he wants. He'll take any of the top 10 guys. He just wants a belt. The guy wants a belt at 154.
And he's deserving of a shot.
And they're not going to be able to duck him because you know, even if, let's say, I look at Fundora and I think, like, he's just so tall, he's so big, like, how many more fights is he really going to have at 154? Yeah. You know, he's probably got 2 more fights in him. Three is, like, max. Pushing it.
And then he's going to get up to 160.
But he's at 160, so then Jermell's got to see him up there. I mean, Jermell got to see him up there. Yeah. And all the 160-pounders got to see him up there.
Think about this, a rehydrated, bigger version of him, bro.
Oh, that's trouble. So no matter where you go, these guys, they're not going to be able to duck him. They're not gonna be these top guys gotta see him, and he's scary. Man, he's scary.
He's long, he's tall, he's big, and he like to fight.
He
can go all night.
And he doesn't really get hurt like that. We seen him get dropped in the fight before, but he wasn't really hurt. He said he just needed a breather. He took a couple punches. But that's not the thing. He takes punches.
Yeah.
So going up and fighting these high level guys like a Jermell Charlo, could he take that Jermell Charlo? Because Jermell Charlo can crack. So would he take a punch from Jermell Charlo like that, like he was taking from Ocampo and just walking through it? Could you imagine that?
That's why we want to see it. You gotta make it happen, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. But we're looking forward to Fundora and what he got coming, and I'm super excited for him. Him and his little sister, she could fight too.
She did a great
job. And she won her fight.
Family.
She won her fight. I think they say they're Mexican and Cuban. Mexican Cubans, maybe that's a good fighting mix. I don't know, but the whole family can fight. Yeah. So jumping across the pond. We're gonna
talk about Conor Benn popping dirty. Let's talk about that, man. That's very unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
And that could be career ending if you ask me, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I already didn't like the fight just because him moving up 2 weight classes. It felt like it came out of nowhere. He was already ranked number 3, number 4 in all these boxing, WBC, WBO. So he was going to get a crack at a belt pretty soon. So for him to jump 2 weight classes and fight a big dude like him, I always thought, why? You know, why? Yeah, and now he's popping dirty. So it's like maybe he thought maybe.
I read an article that what's that guy's name, man? The guy he just knocked out beforehand. What's his name? Chris Algieri, right? Chris Algieri said when he went to England to fight him, he said everybody was telling him not to fight him, man. They doing some weird stuff behind the scenes. And it came to light, and look at Eubank. He made weight still, even he didn't fight. So he showed he was a professional. He handled it correctly. But I'm glad they're catching these kind of things in the sport because this is something where somebody steps in the ring, they can die, he can kill somebody. So you don't really need to be cheating, man. You need to come straight forward. And we're not here for that, you know. We wanted to see good fights, but on an even playing field.
Yeah, Algieri believes he was because he wasn't being tested, and he hit Algieri with the
bomb.
I mean, he put him out. I ain't never seen Algieri get knocked out like that. Yeah. So
he fought Pacquiao. Come on.
Pacquiao put him down a couple times,
but he ain't do him like that.
He ain't do him like that. So Conor Benn, I mean,
we're disappointed in you.
Very disappointed. And what else? Let's see what Chris Eubank got. It's crazy how he's actually coming out as the more liked guy because nobody really likes Chris Eubank like that. And now all the situations making him look like
he's just a very outspoken man.
He's a good dude.
People that are outspoken, they're not liked. But he's a professional. He handled his business. He made weight still, even though he didn't fight. So it says a lot about him. Shout out to you, my guy.
Yeah, but middleweight division. He's in the middleweight division, and the middleweight division, like I said, it's on fire. And it's crazy when you think about Fundora, him matching up against all these guys when he goes up to the middleweight division. Not to go back to Fundora, but yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Arizona Lara is up there in the middleweight division. He's a WBA regular, but you still gotta see him. You gotta see him. He's
just not a favorite kind of style. You know what I mean? But he's not a fan favorite style. But
he's up there. Gennady Golovkin gotta get off those belts or defend him pretty soon. So middleweight division in general is gonna be on fire. But sad we couldn't have the fight. I was actually now looking forward to the fight and
super excited to see it. I wanted to see what was gonna happen, but hey,
that's all right.
That bad blood.
Maybe it was meant. Maybe it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Because what if
bad blood right there?
Yeah. What if he went out there and hit Chris Eubank with some stuff and actually beat him, and then it comes out that he was dirty.
Yeah. Oh,
what? That would have been crazy.
He never heard the end of it.
So actually happy that it's not. But whatever. It happens. It's done with. I don't really care for Conor Benn no more. Don't care to see him. He's gonna have to apologize from here to forever for me to care. Don't really care to see him fight again. So we'll see what happens with that. Staying in the UK though, guys. Super duper excited. The fight is finally here, guys. It's fight week. Fight week. Clarresa Shields versus Savannah Marshall.
Clarresa Shields 12-0.
Let's get it.
12-0. I mean, shit.
The GWOAT.
I think.
The GWOAT. She just tweeted the other day, like, I'm gonna beat her down. Like, she's super confident. I mean, Clarresa Shields gets sparring work from some of the top level guys. Like, she's out there sparring Shakur and Terrence and SOG Ward. These guys are the ones giving her advice as well. So. Well,
if you ask me, I just feel like Clarresa Shields seems very locked in and focused, man. I don't think anything will stop her from getting the victory on the night. I think this is her time, and I think she's ready to go, man. She's ready to, avenge that loss in the amateurs, and she's ready to get it popping, shake shit up.
Savannah Marshall is super confident. I love her confidence. I love her confidence.
She beat her once already.
She beat her once already. She gets under her skin. Not to mention now the WBC, they actually created a new belt. I don't know if you saw that.
Did you see the scripter?
Oh, that was Ring Magazine. Ring Magazine don't mean nothing, whatever.
After she made the comments about Canelo.
But anyway, so the WBC actually made a new belt. We're gonna put it up here. You know how the WBC sometimes for special fights they create special belts. This was the Queen Elizabeth II belt. It's a beautiful belt. Oh, wow, it's nice and blue. Okay. It's beautiful just for this fight to make it even more historic. Because this is a historic night of boxing, guys. It's all females. All card is all females. Great fights all up and down. And now they're going to actually have the Queen Elizabeth II belt they're going to fight for. That's just putting the cherry on top. Such a historic-making night at the O2 Arena. And we're super excited. Now it's just, wow. I'm telling you, it's
crazy that it's happening.
Crazy. So, guys, tune in to Clarresa Shields, Savannah Marshall. You don't want to miss this. Don't want to miss TV. That's a fight.
And this is for all the marbles. Whoever wins this to me is the best women's boxer in the world right now. So it's good shit. We want to see it.
Man, all right. Talking about heavy hitters and big fights.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Going back to Brooklyn. Lot to say, man.
Be on fire.
Lot to say, man. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the price of the pay-per-view and did they take a gamble on putting it on pay-per-view or whatever against such a name like Helenius. Robert Helenius and Deontay Wilder guys going down the same night, October 15th.
Deontay Wilder 42-1, one draw.
Right.
Robert Helenius 30-3.
Right. So. And I feel like they are taking a gamble.
I
I feel like Deontay Wilder did put in the work. He does have the star power to carry the pay-per-view. But usually he's on pay-per-view with a bigger name.
Yeah, but they got Caleb Plant on the undercard.
They got Caleb Plant. They got some good fights.
Regardless if he lost or not, they both coming off losses. They trying to rebuild their career. I mean, people got to get paid. I mean, it's still a business here. Yeah,
so we'll see. We'll see if the gamble pays off. We're gonna be watching it.
I'll tell you what, but this is the comeback trail for the Bronze Bomber, and he needs to look good if he wants to, another crack or something.
He needs to spark him.
Yeah, he needs to look good if he wants
he need to
crack.
he need to lay him out. Like, he don't need to look good.
Yeah.
He need,
But what I'm saying is, if he wants another shot at the other top guys in the heavyweight division, he has to look spectacular. He needs to learn how to move more, which he's looking really good in the YouTube videos I've been watching him on. He looks different.
Everyone looks good.
Everybody looks good on TV, right? Until you get under them.
Now they look good training. Everybody looks good training. Oh, you see these training? He's like hitting those pads in the training camp, and they get up there and do it and pull the whole Adrian Broner. Don't throw no punches and and get really outdone. But anyway, Deontay Wilder, man, we already know what his right hand can do. He puts guys out. And Helenius, he's open for it, man. He gets hit. He gets hit a lot. Not much movement side to side. The guy's straight up and down, so he's right there for the right hand. And if people are gonna buy this pay-per-view, I'm telling you, they're not gonna be satisfied, especially him coming off a loss and him being such a dominant fighter that he was so career, without him laying this guy out flat.
I feel like Helenius is coming off a stoppage victory, but he's just not on the same level as the Bronze Bomber. So this is kind of like.
I actually never been a big fan of Deontay Wilder and his boxing skills. I just thought that they were putting him in there, and he was always he had advantages on guys that he was beating, but it wasn't his boxing skills that really got him there. You saw against Ortiz, man. Both those fights, he was losing them.
Very straight up and down, if you want to, with no special effects, if you want to call it.
And he would just get, I don't want to say lucky, but I mean, he would just get one in there and then change the fight around. While losing the whole fight against Ortiz a couple times, and that's not the first time. So I'm not a huge fan of Deontay.
Look what Ruiz did with Ortiz. That says a lot, I mean, not to get off topic, but just showing that other heavyweights have different more skills. You know what I mean? So he got to step it up.
Right. So we'll see, man. It's good. That's again some next. This is fight week, so it's coming up this weekend right now.
Speaking of fight week.
Look,
man, I want to talk about. We got to jump across the pond or down under. Go down under.
Down under. Oh, we're going down under. Down under,
yes,
guys. Same weekend as Clarresa Shields and Deontay Wilder. We have the newly crowned undisputed champion, the King of Vegas. Devin Haney is the first undisputed title defense with some respect on his name.
This weekend coming up, man. Listen. Put the kids away. Look, man. You're not playing. You got to be glued to that TV if you're a boxing fan. It's going down.
It's going down. You better do something.
But yeah, we got Devin Haney versus George Kambosos. Devin Haney 28-0. George Kambosos 20-1. Just got his first loss from Devin Haney. I think that Devin has the more superior boxing skills, and skills pay the bills to me, man. It's how it always been.
I look at it like this. Devin Haney, 135. He's undisputed champion, but I feel like he still gets no respect. He doesn't get no respect from, and as I feel like everyone should have that respect for him, but they don't for some reason. I feel like he needs to really go in there and put this guy out. You got Shakur. Well, we'll talk about Shakur next, but you have the 135 division that's on fire. Crazy. And in Shakur, you got Lomachenko. Want to fight him next. Davis and
Tank. Tank Davis. Let's make that clear.
And he has to look spectacular. Yeah. On top of that, you want to be a pay-per-view star, right? Devin Haney's not a pay-per-view star just yet, right? He's not a pay-per-view star. So if he wants to be a pay-per-view star like a Tank Davis is, Tank Davis just sold out the Barclay.
The highest gate ever in the bar.
Highest gate ever.
Roof off it.
Blew the roof.
Right now he's got to take care of business in Australia, come back home, get back with his promoter, because right now he's being promoted by another promoter just to make this fight, to get this deal and everything. He had to go through
he's on his own. Devin Haney has his own promotion company, but he's fighting on DAZN, but
so he has
ESPN.
To come back, get back in the U.S. and I think he should fight maybe Lomachenko. We're not going to get off topic with that. I just say that Kambosos works off of timing, and he couldn't time him in the first fight. He's not going to be at a time. I think it's going to be the same fight.
Right.
Maybe even worse.
He just needs to become a pay-per-view star. And the only way he's going to do that is by start. He's young, so he needs to start laying these guys out that he's way more skilled in. And it starts with this fight. Yeah. No more ESPN free fights. No, none of that, guys. It's got to be pay-per-view after this. So,
well, if he wants to be a pay-per-view star, let me tell you how you can be one. You go kick the head off the other pay-per-view king star.
Who's that? Tank.
Go take Tank's head off, and you will be the pay-per-view star because he is the king of pay-per-view star in the lightweight division.
Ooh, you talking spicy?
Yeah, that's what you got to go get it. You got to go get it.
It's true. This is true.
You agree with me?
I agree. It's just a little bit harder fight to make.
Absolutely, but
way harder fight to make.
If he takes his head off, I mean, you got to respect him.
It's looking like Lomachenko might be next, and Lomachenko already said he's down with it. If he gets past Kambosses, Lomachenko wants a shot at those belts. Lomachenko got to get past his fight on the 30th as well. So
that just goes back to say how on fire that division is. Like you said.
The division is on fire.
By the way, Devin Haney is minus 950 right now in the betting odds. He's minus 950. So I mean that just goes to show what they. To win $100, you got to put up 9.
That's steep or more. All right, y'all. So staying in the lightweight division, we did see Shakur Stevenson pass his test with flying colors. People wanted to see a knockout, but the guy Robinson Conceição is tough. Sorry for mispronouncing his name, but it's a tough guy. And he couldn't get him out of there. I felt like he could have done a little bit more, just keeping him guessing as far as what he was going to do next. And he kind of did some of that at the end of the fight, where he started like moving backwards a little bit and more using more of a counter. When he was in that fight, and it was working, but he needed to give Robinson different looks to be able to get him out of there. He was just doing the same thing, walking forward, walking him down, same punches, and it did the job. So why do something different if it was doing the job? You know, what you thought about it?
He said I was a little angry in there. He said once towards the later rounds I started getting loose and just boxing, and I was getting shots was landing better than me trying to aggressively throw him. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
He said that, but I think that he needs a solid introduction fight at 135, nobody crazy to get his feet wet.
He's a tested division a little bit.
Because there's some killers out there. And this
get a win or two.
If you ask me, I think he's moving way too quick. I mean, you know, I think they should pump their brakes with him, man. He's a really gifted fighter, and I wouldn't want to see him take a loss too soon when he wasn't ready. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion personally. I think he's moving too fast.
I thought
he got all the skills in the world. Don't get me wrong, but
I supposedly I get different opinions. Some people say he is big enough to just go ahead and move. I think like you said, like they're moving him a little bit too fast. Maybe he could have gotten another fight at 130. But
he couldn't make the weight. But I don't think they don't need to throw him in with these lines like Tank. No, this is the thing with Shakur, and this is where I feel like his mentality is. He's a star, right? Mm-hmm. You saw he did his thing in Newark. You know, so that it was a great event. Everyone came out in Newark, New Jersey for him. But what I want to say about Shakur is that he wants to be the Tank. He wants to be the Devin Haney. He wants to be these other guys that are getting a lot more light in our fight on pay-per-view. So you could just feel like he's chasing that. Got a lot more fights under their belt. They're more seasoned. Like he got to slow down. He got 20 fights.
He's super confident. He don't need his confidence is through the roof. He feels like he's a better boxer than.
What's Shakur right now? Shakur is 19-0.
He feels like he's a better boxer than all of those guys. He feels like he'll beat Devin Haney. He'll beat Tank. I think.
You heard what Floyd said. It looked good until you get in there. You know what I mean?
I'm saying. I believe him. I'm saying. Give him Tank.
What?
Give him another fight and then give him Tank. Nah, give him another fight, give him Tank. I honestly feel like he'll beat Tank.
Man, listen.
And he might beat him easy.
Playing with my man Tank.
Just because Shakur could really box, bro, and he'll do what it's. I've seen him take guys that are taller than him, longer than him. He has that kind of like that Crawford thing where he kind of figures things out. He'll figure it out. He'll figure out a way to win. And so does Tank. I mean, Tank is a beast.
But see, the thing is, I don't think he should get Tank so soon because it just takes one. Bang! Then the lights is out all of a sudden. You waking up, baby, what happened? So it's like, nah, bro, not yet. But yeah, he needs a couple of build up fights to get something big. I mean, just take your time, get 3 more, and then you're ready to go. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm from Jersey. I love you to death, boy. You doing your thing. So.
All right. Shakur. All right, let's staying in the small guys. Let's talk about one of the bigger guys in the bantamweight division. We got Inoue.
Naoya
Inoue, the monster.
Versus Paul Butler.
This is going down December 29th in Japan.
For what?
For the Undisputed.
Okay. Yeah.
For Undisputed. And guys, if you're not familiar with Inoue, the monster.
Dude, it's crazy.
He's a monster.
Body shot.
He's a
left
monster.
to the body. Anyways, he's 23-0, 20 KO. So I mean, he got 90% KO ratio.
3-division world champion, and he's the fastest to ever do it.
And 26 years old. He did it at 26. Paul Butler, 36-2, 15 KO. So I mean, look.
Let's I just want people to introduce people to first Inoue. Inoue hasn't gotten a lot of light because he's Japanese and he's fighting in bantamweight division, which doesn't get a lot of light as it is. But his big fights they show him in Japan, and by the time they play here, they're super early morning. Yeah. Like 5, 6. You gotta watch them like 4 or 5 in the morning. And but he won the Muhammad Ali trophy, as you saw, and he's just coming off that dominant win. A couple of months back when he stopped in the rematch. He stopped my Filipino brother. Donaire. I'm flipping. Yeah, there you go.
Nonito. But no, let's talk about the first one. He gave him a lot of trouble. Second one almost put him in the casket.
But did you hear he actually fought the Donaire fight, half of it with a broken orbital bone?
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Paul Butler, he's 34-15, only 2 losses, from the UK. The guy is super game. He wants to fight,
and he has heart.
He's not scared of no monsters. You never rest fairy tales. He don't care about no monster. People think that he should be shook against the monster. He don't care. The guy is super confident in his abilities. He has a really tight guard the way he fights, and he doesn't take a lot of chances. And he just feels like Inoue. He got the answer for Inoue. He has more experience than Inoue. He has way more fights. He feels like.
And he said, and I quote, he just wants to test his skills against the best man and see what he can do. So later on down the line, when he ends his career, he can sleep at peace. You know what I mean? Knowing I challenge myself, and I respect him for that, because not too many people in boxing nowadays are fighting the best. They want to just say they want to fight the best, but then they don't do it. And I'm tired of hearing that from most of new stuff, because if you want to fight somebody, you say, I'm not fighting again until I get him. And that's it. So I respect him for that. Shout out to you. We need more people like you in boxing.
That's right. Inoue, guys, this fight, again, just so we're understanding, is actually for Undisputed. Undisputed, unifying all the belts, okay? And it's going to be on a Tuesday morning. Just know that the monster, Inoue, he does demolition jobs on guys. Straight up. Like, he's a construction worker. He's going in there with a hard hat. He might box with boots on. Like real construction boots. Just to make it hard on himself. He goes in there and he's like a surgeon.
Left to the body.
He's a surgeon. He goes in there and he puts the beats on guys. Guys do not do well. They don't last against Inoue. Inoue just beats up. The only guy that gave them that good fight was Donaire. Everybody else.
And then he put him in his casket the next one. So I mean, he had one tough fight, but then he learned from it clearly, and look what he did. He came back and smoked his boots.
So,
but look, I want to touch on one more thing on this topic. So he is going for Undisputed, right? And what's the dude's name in the weight class above? I forgot his name.
Cool Boy Steph.
Yeah, Cool Boy Steph. So look, Cool Boy Steph could possibly be going for Undisputed. So we can have 2 undisputed champions here. Whoever wins out of these four right here, and we can get a double undisputed fight. That's crazy. If that makes sense to you guys, you see what I'm saying here? So that if he's undisputed in his weight class and Cool Boy Steph is undisputed in his weight class,
right.
We can
and it's possible because
for all the belts.
It's possible because the fight's not made, but it's gonna be made. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be made. So Stephen, he wants to fight. The one guy has both belts, so it's just one fight, and he's undisputed.
Just
one
like
fight.
They both have one more fight, and I just wanted
both have one fight to be
I
undisputed.
wanted to touch on that to give more light to these smaller guys that are not getting enough credit, because they're still doing their thing down there, and this is big. I mean, there's never been a fight for a double undisputed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So if Inoue wins all the belts at 118,
yes, Then if Cool Boy
wins at 122,
that can be
then they could just be that would just be insane.
Probably catch weight at 120. Because everybody goes 2 pounds, and that'd be crazy.
I don't know. He needs to come in and beat the champ at 122. He's a monster. He's a monster, right? He a monster, and I love to see Cool Boy Steph get that shine too, because he's been getting shine on ESPN. But I love Cool Boy.
They're not giving these smaller guys enough credit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Not enough light. And I'm shining today on y'all. Y'all doing your thing, and that would be a crazy fight, and I'm definitely here to see that all day. Let's run it.
All right, so we wanted to talk a little bit about the welterweight division, and we're gonna start with before we start the welterweight division. Big fight happening. It's moved back to November 19th. Okay. And this is JoJo Diaz versus William Zepeda.
JoJo Diaz 32-2, 1 draw. And William Zepeda undefeated, 26-0.
26-0,
23 KOs. We talking about that high-end ratio of knockouts, boy. We could get some lights-out drama. So
JoJo Diaz, I've been a big fan of JoJo when he was coming up in Golden Boy. He was fighting all the Golden Boy cards. I just felt he was special. He had that speed. He had the punching power. He was super young, so he had the crack. I saw something special in him. He ran into Gary Russell. People say he ran into Gary Russell a little bit young. He lost that fight. After that, he had some mental issues going on.
I was actually at the Devin Haney fight.
Big fight happening on the fight got moved back to November 19th, but JoJo Diaz versus William Zepeda.
JoJo Diaz 32-2, 1 draw. William Zepeda 26-0 with 23 big KOs, so it could be some high drama.
High drama. I've always been a big fan of JoJo, man. Since his startup, coming up, Golden Boy days, he was laying these guys out because his speed and his power was really uncanny for his age, and him just in general. He just had that special thing about him. He ran into Gary Russell Jr., Mr. Gary Russell Jr. earlier, and he had a good fight with Gary Russell. It wasn't like he got stopped or anything like that. Gary Russell just outworked him.
And I was at the Devin Haney fight. He looked good there. He gave Devin Haney some trouble. So
Devin Haney, but before that, he has some stuff going on in his personal life, mental issues and stuff like that. But then he got it back. The Devin Haney fight, though, I feel like he could have did more. He actually had Haney hurt late in the fight.
Yeah. He was landing some solid shots on him.
But I feel like he had more to give, and he didn't just
sometimes you gotta just risk it all.
Because this is your biggest fight, and he didn't. The last 3 rounds, I feel like he didn't take it there. I feel like he was comfortable with just kind of not. He hurt Devin, but he didn't put it on him. Like, he could have pushed the fight a little bit more.
And that's another thing, because right now he's getting ready to deal with a full-fledged lightweight. Zepeda, he's coming. JoJo's coming from a lighter weight. This dude is rough, rugged, can crack. It's just gonna be a nasty fight. So he has to go big inside.
We spoke last night, and I told you this is gonna be a contender for fight of the year. Yeah. This is gonna be fight of the year.
Somebody might.
Because William Zepeda is a southpaw. He's a southpaw. He comes forward. He boxes well. Got a good jab. He kind of reminds me of Spence in that matter. How he just he never stops working. He's coming forward. Boom, boom, boom. Left jab, punch. And JoJo strong as heck too. So JoJo can't lose this fight. Zepeda don't know how to lose fights.
Better stick and move.
Zepeda don't know how to lose fights. So this is gonna be like a battle of will, and who's gonna break?
I just personally don't think that he's better than JoJo, but
I don't think either. But JoJo's gonna have to be special to beat this kid.
He's gonna show actually what he's really made.
He's gonna have to show what we all saw in him when he was coming up. Yeah. Like, wow, this kid's special. So he's gonna have to show why he's special against William Zepeda. This is gonna be a great fight. It's on DAZN. The fight just got moved back. But be on the lookout for that fight. We'll definitely catch the recap of that. But yeah, super dope, lightweight.
Some people say that William Zepeda is like the best fighter in the lightweight division in the Golden Boy stable, saying he's better than Ryan Garcia, but I don't think so. But hey, that's what I'm just saying. Like, he's not somebody to overlook. This guy's really a challenge. You know what I mean? It's not.
Well, why can't he be better than Ryan Garcia?
I think Ryan's a little sharper, a little more
we'll see.
Polished, but we'll see. Like I said.
Ryan won't get in there with JoJo.
Yeah, Ryan just.
So he said he want Tank, but we'll see.
We want to see that fight too.
Speaking of big fights. We talking
about big fish? Let's
talk about the big fish and Bud. So Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. Not happening. We don't know. So supposedly, so Spence came out and said that he's next. And I'm gonna believe Spence when he says it that Crawford is next. Now, when will the fight happen? It's definitely not happening in November. If you know anything about sales, it's definitely not happening. It's not gonna happen early December.
Christmas because the holidays.
It's not gonna happen in Christmas. So. Because people don't like to spend money, and if you're in any kind of sales, late December in general, it's just not a good month. Yeah. So will it happen early January? It's just boxing's really like it's just not enough. February to March is looking like a better time. You got to remember these fights take. You have to do a tour. You have to do press conferences in different cities. They want to build this up to be the biggest pay-per-view they can because
this is like the next Mayweather Pacquiao to me. This it should be
because these and it's a lot of money online. You got to pay these guys a lot of money, so they got to hit LA, they got to hit Vegas. You know, they might go across the pond, hit the UK. They have to do this big press. What I saw happening was I thought that they were gonna sign Crawford. You know, sign Crawford, get him on like a 2 or 3 fight deal. Have him fight on, Showtime pay-per-view against somebody like a Keith Thurman or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Come January, let's say for example, and then have Spence fight. Well, he's not gonna fight his mandatory. We'll talk about him next, but have Spence fight someone else in the welterweight division. He could fight David Avenesian. He could fight someone else come February, and then have them come together in the spring, right? March, April, May, like that. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Man. Like I say, that's what it's looking like, but it's just getting annoying at a point where Bud is getting older. We want to see these guys fight at their prime. I seen something on the internet the other day, like when Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns fought, they were like 22 and 23.
That's crazy.
So pretty much when they fought the second time, when they were way over the hill, that's like the age we're getting right now with Spence and Crawford. I mean, obviously, granted, technology is different now, and people are still in their prime in that age. But still, man, these fights should be happening. And we're just tired of waiting around, man. And it's really frustrating as a boxing fan because you want to see these fights. And what's the holdup? That's where I'm at with it. Like, yo, what's up?
They got killers waiting for him as well. So we know that Bud Spence wants to move up to 154. Yeah. I think he has 2 more fights at welterweight. Maybe he'll fight 1 more fight and then Crawford. Maybe he'll fight Crawford twice. Maybe he'll fight Crawford and move up to 154.
Or they moving up to
154 is I mean, you're running into. We just talked about if he wants to be a champion, Jermell is his stablemate. He's not gonna fight Jermell, so Jermell will probably drop those belts and move up because what's Spence gonna go up to 154 for if he's not gonna fight Jermell? They're in the same camp. That's his stablemate. So.
Well, we don't want to get off topic of the 154. We should stay at the welterweight division. If them guys get out the picture, we got Jerron Boots and it's
coming up, we got Boots,
KOs.
Philly, what's up?
Shout out to Philly. They got Virgil Ortiz.
We got Virgil Ortiz. Protect the kid 19-0, 19 KOs. He don't know
100% ratio of knockout. So I mean, and he said he's willing to fight anybody.
Oh, he'll fight anybody.
He's
young.
And Boots too. Boots wants to with the big fish. He said he might reel in something he ain't trying to catch right now.
Well, these guys, let me show you. Let me look at it real quick. These guys are they're in line. I mean, they're
I'm gonna keep going.
They're
then we got Keith one-time Thurman down there, 30-1. I mean, only lost to Manny Pacquiao, 22 KOs. I mean, he's still a threat, even though he's a little older. He's still sharp. He can still box, and he's still obviously a good fight down there. Like he's not even a stepping stone yet. He's still a good challenge to see where you can see where these guys are at by fighting Keith Thurman.
So Virgil Ortiz is he's number 1 is mandatory for 2 of the belts that Spence has, and then Jerron is I believe is mandatory for the IBF. Yeah, Jerron's number 1. And as you know, anything about the IBF is they don't play. You don't fight your mandatory. We strip you. Like they give you some amount of time. Like
they might give him.
And the only thing that trumps fighting your mandatory, as you know, is unification. So
they're gonna give him the pass to get this unification, but if they don't,
and then he has to fight the big guys. Yeah. So I don't see Spence. Will he stick around and fight Jerron Ennis, or because he has to fight him, or will he move up to 154 and try to see what he can do up there?
Then we got one more, David.
David Avenesian, he's ranked number 4, so he's right underneath Jaron when it comes to the WBC. And I love David Avenesian.
29.
Super tough.
3-1.
Super tough.
17 KOs.
He the guy never quits.
I say like this. I mean, this is what I would like to see. You tell me what you think. I would like to see the 2 heavy hitters fight, Virgil Ortiz and David. I mean, and then Boots and Keith Thurman, and then they're more of the boxers. So let the boxers box each other, see who's the better boxer, and let the brawlers bang, and then see who's the best brawler. And then you just get a brawler versus boxer fight next, and then the winner of that gets to go for all the belts or something. You know what I mean? That's just. I mean, I'm just playing with things here, you know. But 2 people banging, and then 2 people boxing, and then we get the best out of them 2.
Yep.
I mean, see what happens. I mean, look.
Ugas is hanging around. He wants a big fight now.
He ain't trying to get another broken eye socket, man. You sit down, man, broken rib. I mean, look, you from Vegas. I respect you, but bro, I mean, it's a different level. You see, obviously, you see where that.
But this is the thing. He's a big name. He beat Pacquiao. He fought.
You don't never know how they look after that asshole.
Dude, he was hanging in there with Spence a little bit. He was fighting. He's fought back. Fight back.
And respect to you, but bro, I mean, it's a different level. Spence, that level's you gotta see. Let's throw him in there.
Let's throw him in there with Boots.
With this, and see how he does.
Throw him in there with Boots.
And then we'll see if Spence is that high of a level or if he's just not there. You know, so we give him the benefit of the doubt. Throw him in there with something because we're not gonna leave him out of the mix. He's in there with these guys. And, I mean, with these guys looking to win the titles and then vacate and go up, I mean, it's all open space to be seeing what's going on. Anyway, guys.
Man, tune in, man. Follow us on YouTube, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button.
Show some love, man.
Show some love. Spotify, go work out. Throw the headphones on. Listen to the episodes. We got you on Spotify. We're on YouTube. Follow the Instagram, fresh_smooth boxing TV. We're gonna be actually dropping more content more frequently. We're gonna try to give you guys literally like an episode every week on a week.
We're just trying to figure out the kinks, and we're looking to just do more and expand. It's not gonna end here. We're just trying to grow and build as a brand and a podcast, man. So we appreciate everybody that's tuning in and supporting us, man. It's all love from us. Thank you very much. We out.